Alright guys, welcome back. Today we are talking about the Spyderco Assist, okay? I was actually really interested to purchase this knife for a couple reasons. One, it's got a gnarly looking blade. Look at that thing. That is a cool looking blade, right? And it has this rounded tip right here. This is actually touted as a survival knife, so something you would use in survival situations or whatever it may be. Could use it in survival situations, or it could just kind of be an everyday carry knife if you're using it to perform, tasks such as cutting seat belts or whatever it may be. This has a lot of different options. So let me walk through the options on this knife. Obviously, the first thing that you'll see is it has this huge flip top here. So one thing that I have to say about this knife that is good is it's probably the easiest knife I've ever seen for one-handed opening. So it makes the one-handed opening really, really simple. It has the patented Spyderco hole right here that they use, and then the blade is serrated almost all the way to the top, right? There's a tiny bit of straight blade here, and then what's really interesting is the tip of the blade is completely rounded, which makes that great if you are cutting seat belts and stuff like that. You can slip it in and not worry about stabbing somebody. However, this is not my recommendation for an everyday personal defense carry knife, because you can't actually stab with it. This tip will not hurt anything. It's rounded. So just keep that in mind. If that's what you're looking for, you may want to look at a different knife. Some of the other unique features of this knife, it has a whistle right here. This is a whistle. It has this mechanism here, and I'll try and show this to you, where you actually can compress it. Do you see that? So it makes it really simple and easy to cut rope. You would just put rope right there, a piece of rope, and then compress, and bam, it would cut right through the rope. So that's pretty cool in and of itself. And obviously Spyderco makes amazing blades, so the blade is extremely sharp and it's really good steel. Here's my knock on the knife right back here. Well, there's two knocks. The first is this clip. The clip to me is extremely flimsy, especially for the price of this knife. This knife's about $100. You can probably find it anywhere from $80 to $110. For that cost, for a knife, especially with good knives out there like the the Gerber Remix, I would think they would put something a little bit more sturdy on it. This I thought they dropped the ball a little bit on that. Also, the handle. For a knife that costs $100, it's got such a killer blade on it. I would think the handle would be made out of something a little more sturdy. This feels almost like a thin little toy. While I'm sure that keeps the weight down, to me, I feel like this could crack, especially when you're doing one of the last features, which is what you'll see down here. So this is supposed to be a glass breaker. You see that? You compress the knife and this tiny little nub comes out. And they say that's to be used for, breaking windows or whatever it may be. I don't actually know how that could break a car window, to be honest with you. That is the tiniest little nub. Maybe it would shatter the window enough, potentially, but just judging by the feel of this knife, you might actually crack the casing on the knife as well. So to me, that's a couple of the drawbacks. I think if they're going to make this, you make it a little bolder. I'll show you one on the Gerber LMF2, which is legit. Obviously, the knife is designed for a little more heavy duty, but I also think they should have made the actual plastic casing a little bit tougher. Things they got right. I mean, the whistle's cool, I guess. I think they should have made the clip a little bit stiffer. They nailed it on the opening. The blade is killer. I think this is actually pretty cool, the way they rounded this. I think it's good for working in a lot of different situations. This is called the Assist. So it's used for rescue and that type of thing. So I think in that dimension they probably got it right. So, but I mean, it's really up to you if this is a knife that you would want to carry. I mean, look at it. It's obviously a pretty killer knife. But to me, for my money, in an everyday carry knife, I would go with something like the Gerber Remix or something along those lines. let me give you a size comparison real quick. So this is the Spyderco Assist. I'll just set that over here. This is the Gerber Remix Tactical. And this is the Gerber LMF2. Alright, let me pull these out. There you go, so you guys can get a good size comparison. Turn these sideways for you. That's probably a better shot. There you go. As you can see, the Remix is the smallest, the Spyderco is right in the middle, and then the LMF2 is obviously the biggest out of all of them, but that's a little different type of knife. That's not an everyday carry knife. So there you guys go. I'll give you one last size comparison. Compare that to a CD. So there it is, like that. Like that. And there it is closed as well. So again, guys, that is the Spyderco Assist. Hope you liked the review.